Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you are going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, my brother, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? Well, my brother, I want to confess all the things that I ended up doing when I was looking for money, when I was in this search for money. Well, my brother, I tried to do this thing of ukutwaza, but after I had tried everything, I had gone and I had stayed with this other traditional healer. This was for a year. I had paid a lot of money, but in the end of the day, my brother, nothing ever came out of it. I was even facing more bad luck out of more bad luck. That was when I relaxed a little bit and I just wanted to focus on my life. So when I was focusing on my life, then troubles started in my life. There was this other guy, that I was dating. Well, this guy, what was happening to him was that the guy, he was in love with me, but the problem was that he was still choosing between me and this other lady that he was dating. This lady, well, she is quite an intelligent woman. She is a doctor. So he then looked at me. I was just a woman from the location, and then this lady was a doctor. So naturally, he chose that lady doctor over me. And when he chose that lady doctor over me, I was absolutely heartbroken, but there was nothing that I could do. I felt as if my ancestors were actually punishing me. Well, if I thought that my ancestors were punishing me, then I was just lying to myself, because there was more that was in stock that they had stocked for me so that they can keep on punishing me. When this guy dumped me, that was when I realized that I had fallen pregnant for him. Well, when I found out that I had fallen pregnant for him, the natural thing that I could do was that I approached him, and I had a little bit of hope. I thought that this pregnancy was going to be my saving grace. This guy, since he was going to find out that I was now pregnant for him, there was no way he was going to choose me over his lady doctor. But unfortunately, what then happened was that when I approached him, he then said that I was supposed to have an abortion. I said, why do you want me to have an abortion? The guy then said that, well, if you do not have an abortion, what you are going to do is that you are going to raise this girl He then said that, well, what you are going to be doing is that you are going to be raising your child alone, because I will never be present for your child's life, because that lady doctor had also fallen pregnant for him at the same time. So again, the ancestors had once again made sure that my life was going to be very terrible, as much as it could be. Well, my brother, I was heartbroken. Here I was pregnant, and the father of my child refusing to take any responsibility at all. What I ended up doing, for the sake of me trying to buy the baby clothes and everything, I then started dating this other guy. Once I started dating that guy, the guy seemed to love me. At that time, I was 4 months pregnant, but the guy did not even realize that I was 4 months pregnant. I don't know what was happening with him, but even the day that we slept together for the first time without using any protection at all, I was scared that he was going to find out that the test was totally different. But this guy, he never suspected anything. Actually, he seemed to enjoy it even more. So I kept on sleeping with him until I spoke with my other friend. When I spoke with my other friend about this issue, my friend then said that, well, this thing that you are doing, if you keep on sleeping with this guy whilst you are pregnant, you are going to make him very sick. What I suggest that you do is that try to remove this pregnancy. So she then told me that she was going to find someone who was going to assist me with removing of this pregnancy. And that is what I ended up doing. I ended up removing that pregnancy. And after we had removed that pregnancy, life just returned back to normal. I lied to that guy that I was dating that I was on this painful period because I had just removed my pregnancy. pregnancy, and I didn't want him to find out that this is what I had done. I had removed a pregnancy. I was scared of losing him. Well, fast forward, Brother Nashi, this guy, he then started attending church. This guy was now a Pentecostal. When this guy started attending church, he then told me that he also wanted me to go to church and leave the traditional stuff behind. Me wanting to be with this guy, I then followed whatever he was requesting from me, and I started going to church with him. So we started going to church with him for many days. Whenever we would go to church, there was never that prophecy thing. Then they came, this other pastor, the pastor came. The pastor then said that he wanted to have like a powerful prophetic session throughout that Sunday service. So I never thought of anything. That was when he pointed at me, and I was almost sitting at the back when he started pointing at me. When he pointed at me, I felt like my world crashing down. This prophet, he then said I should come to the front, and I had to confess. This man said that I was supposed to confess for some of the stuff that I had done because I had blood. I had actually blood in my hands, but I totally refused, and I said, no, I do not have any blood at all in my hands because I never did anything wrong in my life. So the prophet just prayed for me, but I saw that he was disappointed in me, and at the same time, he didn't want the whole church to know that I had blood on my hands, as in having committed that abortion. Well, after he had prayed for me, I then stopped going to that church, and I told my boyfriend that I do not want to go to that church. I wanted to return back to my traditional stuff, but now it was no longer me communicating with my ancestors. I wanted a way out. And at the same time, I don't want that bad luck to keep on following me. What I did is I then approached this other traditional healer. After I had approached him, I told him about my issue, and he told me that indeed I was dirty. There was nothing that I was going to touch that was going to be successful, since I had the blood of my child in my hands. So then what we did, Brother Nash, is that we ended up doing that ritual where he had to clean all the blood that was on my hands. But my brother, then I received a phone call from home. After I had received this phone call from home, I was told that my son had actually hanged himself. And when I was told that my son had actually hanged himself, that was when I got the shock of my life. I got the shock of my life, Brother Nash, that even up until this day, I do not even know what really went wrong for my son to just like take his own life like that. And each and every day, I feel as if I have to blame myself, because I know that the blood that I was trying to clean, the blood that was on my hand, what actually happened was that God then decided to punish me, and now I feel like I am just worthless. If you were to look at me right now, you will feel very sorry for me, because my life is just a mess because of this blood that is on my hand. So I have come here on your platform. I am asking for your advice. Do I tell this guy who is like a heavy Pentecostal guy about this issue? And what guarantee do I have, like, if I tell him that he's not going to divorce me? Because this guy, he is like my last hope to get in a relationship, to get into a marriage. I just want to be married, to be called someone's wife. And I am willing to do anything so that this guy can be with me. But I do not want to use these charms on him. I have been resisting to use any charms on him for a very long time. But where we are headed to, Brother Nashi, I'll be left without having any choice. Please assist me. I cannot lose this guy because I love him from the bottom of my heart. But I did a silly mistake when I started dating this guy. Sometimes I wish that if I had told him that I was pregnant, maybe he was going to allow me to keep that pregnancy. But I was in a state of mind whereby I was confused. I had been heartbroken so much. But now I am back in my senses, and I am asking for your advice. Please assist me. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that I had for you. Please let us speak with her in the comment section. Yo,